So Carlene, when Bessie Smith and Victoria Spivey and Ethel Waters were making this kind of music, your grandma was making a different kind of music.
Yeah, slightly.
You are, of course, a member of, as I said, the founding family of country music, and you were very close to to Mother Maybelle.
My grandma and I were super close. I always cried when I had to leave my grandma. I always cried to go to my grandma. She taught me all the most important things of my life. She taught me how to fish. She taught me how to can, to crochet. She taught me how to play the guitar a little bit, and she taught me how to gamble, which is really important to her. I've got some great gambling stories if we had time. No, it was like I would watch her go out on stage from when I was a little bitty girl. I remember being like 3.5, because I can remember that because I remember the first time I went on stage, I pointed up at the microphone and my mom was there singing and she had to stop the show, and I was going, and she goes, "What is it, honey?" And I said, "I want to talk on that." And so from there on, it's just been yakety yak, yak, yak everywhere I go. But yeah, so Grandma, the thing about her, she was so humble in her achievements, and she was always such a down-to-earth woman. I mean, to the day she died, she was happy if she had $50 to go play bingo with and happened to have a new Cadillac. She was just happy as could be. But, you know, she was very innovative and a very creative young woman when she started. And she was 16, I think, when she started playing way before then, but when she finally figured out that she might need some rhythm guitar to go with the lead guitar she was playing, and she just thought, well, why can't I just make that happen? I love that attitude. It's just, my attitude is always like, I may not play it exactly like somebody thinks I ought to play it, but I'm going to play it like I mean it, y'all, no matter what. And I think I got that from her. And also, too, you know, my mother, June, and my aunts, Helen and Nita, they really helped keep the legacy going of the second generation of the Carter family by moving to Nashville and becoming members of the Grand Ole Opry. And I feel the responsibility, which I was told as a young kid, like, you know, when we're all gone, you need to carry this music on. And it has never failed me when I haven't known what to do musically, when I wasn't like off on one of my own kind of creative moments, at which they always encouraged so much, I would go back to my roots and go back to the basics of Carter family music. And, you know, the thing about being a Carter girl is there was enough of us that if you knew one verse and a chorus to every Carter family song, you were in the band, y'all. You were. And if you could sing loud, you got to sing lead.
Well, I see you picking up the auto harp there. So Maybelle Carter was, of course, arguably, and in my mind, the inventor of modern guitar playing, and really the first lead guitarist. I mean, there would be no Eddie Van Halen if there were not a Maybelle Carter. This is my opinion, and others share it. At the same time, Maybelle also played the auto harp. Can you talk a little bit about the auto harp and how you learned it?
Well, I love the auto harp because it was instant gratification, because you just press the C and you go, and it's like, damn, I'm good. Damn. So, you know, as a kid, it's like you want to do that. And I was like, I'm going to be an auto harp player, but I could never find any picks that would fit my fingers. So I would get a matchbook and go for it. But yeah, I love this harp in particular because the thing about it is that really sustained and still sustains through the Carter family, from my grandmother and my Aunt Sara and my Uncle AP, all the way down to my grandkids, is that we carry a bit of Appalachia with us everywhere we go. And in this harp right here, there's a little piece of wood that's from a tree. No, this is from the cabin that my grandfather Ezra and my great uncle AP were born in. And so everywhere I go, I carry a little bit of Poor Valley, Macy Springs, Virginia with me. And it reminds me of who I am and who I need to be, and to always respect my legacy and carry it on the best that I can. So now I'm like working on my granddaughters. And the cool thing that I can tell y'all about now, and I've been kind of keeping it under wraps, is we have a new Carter family album coming out, which I know, it's pretty exciting. It's called Across Generations, and my brother, John Carter Cash, produced it, and he and I got together and we rallied all of our cousins, and believe you me, there's a bunch of them. There's about 30 of us, and we're all singing Circle B Unbroken on this record. And so it goes all the way down. There's 5 generations that we managed to appear on here, including my grandmother found a lost tape of her with her first electric auto harp making up a song. It's called Maybelle's New Tune. And it was probably right around the time she did the Newport Folk Festival and all that in the 60s. And then there's also her and Aunt Sara used to communicate not by letters but by recordings. They would send each other, talking tapes with a song on it or something. Well, we found one from Aunt Sara to Grandma that says, "Hey, Maybelle, what you doing? I've got this song here. I think we should record it. Maybe Anita could sing it, or maybe, Johnny Cash. I don't know." So anyway, it's really sweet. So we managed to do this thing, and I love the fact that there's the technology that we found old tapes of Helen and Anita and my mom and outtakes of my mom's records, and we all immersed ourselves in there. And that one really is so wonderful about this time in our lives, that we have this technology to keep that music actually alive and out there. Not just like an old recording from some time. It's like we're keeping it current, and that's my job, y'all. I'm a Carter girl.
Well, tell us, you've selected a Carter family song to perform for us today. Why did you choose Foggy Mountaintop?
Well, when I first started recording, I was in England, and I didn't know what to do. So, of course, I picked the Carter family song that I knew that was up-tempo, and this was it. And it was also like one of those ones that I always got to sing because it had a growl part in it that Mom liked that I did. And it's also, I love playing it on the auto harp because it is balls to the walls, y'all.
Here's Carlene Carter.
I hope it's okay to say that on NPR, is it?
We're editing this, so
Bowling
say
balls.
whatever you want.
Okay.
Here's Carlene Carter with Foggy Mountaintop.
Hold on, y'all. If I was on some foggy mountaintop, I'd sail away to the west. I'd sail around this whole wide world to the boy I love the best. If I had listened to what Mama said, we'd not have been here today. Wishing for things that I'll never have, and reaping my sweet life their way. You caused me to weep, you caused me to mourn, you caused me to leave my home. Oh, those lonesome pines and those good old times, I'm on my way back home. So when you see that two-faced girl, there's something you can tell her. She did not fool her time away, trying to steal my feather. If I was on some foggy mountaintop, I'd sail away to the west. I'd sail around this whole wide world to the boy I love the best. To the boy I love the best. To the boy I love the best. Thank y'all.
Carlene Carter.
Thank y'all so much.
That is the voice we need in our lives. So I'm so happy to hear that voice.
Wait, Carlene, can you talk about the pics?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have 6 of my mother's picks. And I just cleaned these up so they look a little shinier than normal. But I carry my mommy with me because I really do believe that I never really could play the auto harp with such zeal. Zeal? Is that what the word is? Zeal as I did when I put my mother's picks on. And it was just like she just comes right through there. And, one thing, Mr. Orthy gave me this auto harp, and he said, but the only thing is you got to learn how to play it. And I went, man, I better get on that shit. So Anyway, yeah, I love that I have some of these. I have, my grandmother left me a pick that's got a picture of Elvis on it. I love that. So I have like a few like precious things that I carry with me everywhere, and it's awesome. I want to tell y'all something really quick though before Sean sings, which I can't wait to hear. I talked about my grandmother's gambling, y'all, and the thing about her is that about 4 o'clock in the morning, if we were in Vegas, I'd be in my jammies. I was 14. And I would hear a knock on the door, and it would be my grandma, and she'd be standing there with a bucket full of nickels, and she'd say, "Honey, get up. Come on down here and play these slots with me." And I said, "Grandma, I can't. I'm only 14. And she said, "Get in there and put them false eyelashes on and come with me." And there I'd go. And I was down there pulling them slots with my grandma, and back then she smoked menthol cigarettes because she said it made her sing better. Yeah.
We'll definitely be checking out that new Carter Family album for these stories and this wonderful legacy. And it feels special to have you perform here today at Country Music Hall of Fame, too. But that was a great transition, Amethyst, to talk about Maybelle again, and Carlene, to come back to you, because that is one reason why Maybelle invented her guitar style, was to be able to play loudly in the places that the Carter family was playing.
Yeah, and to make it sound, because Aunt Sara, she played the auto harp a bit, but really, and AP didn't play much. He paced around mostly. He had a fiddle somewhere, but he paced around and looked nervous. But he was the maestro of everything. And but I do come from a very matriarchal family, and so because of that, I've never had any fear about just going for it. And so even when I play bad, I act like it's right, and it works good. And if I really mess up, I laugh, and people love that too, So I know I was going to do a song about divorce, and then I thought maybe in my situation as I am right now in my life, I might not want to do another divorce song. So I've changed my mind again. I've done this to Ann ever since I got here. I mean, I've loved this. I've loved this thing. This has been awesome because I love that we have the same idea about genres. And one of the things that I'm so grateful for was that my biggest influences were in my household mostly, because you just get it by osmosis. There was never any, this is country music, this is bluegrass music, this is rock music. There was not that. It was all, there was Carter family music, Johnny Cash music, Elton John music, Mozart music, And so I had the most wonderful upbringing of my mom coming home with a Bob Dylan album when I was like 6 or 7 years old and saying, "Now, honey, you need to sit down and listen to this, because this young man is going to change music forever." And I remember sitting there and thinking, I got to listen to this whole thing. And I remember thinking, well, this is different, because I was used to listening to Elvis Presley and dancing all over the living room. But so, I mean, I've always believed in that, and it's probably been why I haven't been more successful, because I like doing cartwheels across that fence, y'all. Just keep on keeping it on.
Well, I do want to say, you have made some great rock records. I want to acknowledge that. I mean, there's the moment when Carlene was working with people like Dave Edmunds and Nick Lowe and the Brinsley Schwartz, and we saw Elvis Costello last night. That was a moment. Well, Carlene should be up in that pantheon. She is up in that pantheon with those people. I truly believe that.
Wow.
Well,
thank you. I think I was serving them drinks and snacks, basically. I was a little salsa girl, but yeah, I was hanging with the boys.
So tell us about coming back, or you said earlier, I was going to say coming back, but that's not correct. You always, even when you were exploring rock and power pop and rockabilly, you always came back to the Carter family sound. You always integrated that sound in. And tell me how you did that throughout your career.
Well, I would come to a point where I would know that I would do like a really rocking record with The Rumor. Then I would turn around and I would go to New York and work in the power station with Tony Bon Jovi. And it's like, okay, completely different things. Then I did a record with Rockpile, who was at the time my husband Nick Lowe, and my former husband Nick Lowe, and Dave Edmunds. And that was the record I went over there to make in the beginning. It was called Musical Shapes. And I just had a lot of energy. I thought that, you know, I always wore mini skirts. Nashville did not want me to wear mini skirts, even though they let Jeannie C. Riley do it once. Yeah, it was just a different time, and for me to go to England, it was a wonderful freedom, because I had no expectations of what I was supposed to be like. I could be however I wanted. I could rock the hell out of my country music, which is what I wanted to do. My ambition in life was to be the rockinest country girl in the universe, and I don't know if I am anymore, but I think I am. Anyway, I'm going to do a song now. This is kind of like my grandma's style of guitar picking. God, by the way, you play great. Oh, God, girl. Dang, you and Sean both. She taught me how to flat pick because, you know, my little fingers wouldn't quite do it. But so this is one where I incorporate a little bit of Maybelle picking, a little bit of Carlene rocking, and a story of my life.
So sweet and kind, Southern girl, little did she know. Down a trail of tears, heartache collide, all the men she loved and the night she cried.
I swear to God, I just swallowed a piece of hair. Hold on, I'll get back in it.
Carlene, why don't you start from the beginning, just so, because we're recording. So.
Oh, it started from the beginning?
Start from the beginning.
Holy shit.
Well, is anyone going to object if she starts from the beginning?
You can leave my laugh in there. Okay, I'll do it again. Dang. All right. Okay, I'm swallowing now. The hair's gone. At least it wasn't a fly. Okay. All right, seriously now. I got a big Mother Maybelle's watching me.
Southern girl, about 15, had a vivid vision and a one-track dream. Her simple life felt incomplete. Many roads to follow and sights to see. She leave this world far behind. It be changed for the better, so sweet and kind. Southern girl, little did she know. Down a trail of tears, heartaches light, all the men she loved and the night she cried. Trail of tears, caution to the wind. She followed her heart to the bitter end. Followed her heart to the bitter end. The bitter end. She found herself lost one night, rode back home, nowhere in sight. She tripped, she fell, scattered and strewn, crippled by fear and chilled to the bone. She turned out
Carlene Carter, Change Your Heart.
Thank you.
Miss Carlene Carter.
Thank y'all.